Silence is not weakness. It is one of the most underrated forms of power you can possess in 2025. In a world where everyone is racing to speak, to post, to broadcast every thought and opinion, silence becomes a weapon. It's a shield that protects your focus, your mental energy, and your emotional state. The more you speak, the more you reveal, not just to others, but to people who may not have your best interests at heart. When you learn to keep quiet, you control the flow of information about yourself. You become unpredictable. You maintain the element of surprise. Silence allows you to listen deeply, not just to others, but to your own thoughts. In the quiet, you gain clarity that the noise of constant talking can never provide. You start to see opportunities others overlook because they're too busy making noise. When you're silent, you're not wasting energy defending yourself, explaining yourself, or convincing others. Instead, you're investing that energy into building, learning, and creating. It's easy to fall into the trap of trying to prove yourself to the world with words. But words are cheap. They can be ignored, doubted, or twisted. Results, however, cannot be denied. Silence gives you the space to turn your ideas into results before anyone even knows what you're working on. It allows you to move with precision, to strike when the time is right, and to avoid unnecessary conflict along the way. In 2025, the loudest person in the room is rarely the most powerful. The one who knows when to speak and when to stay silent is. Learn to master the art of saying less. Let your silence amplify your actions. And when you finally speak, make it so impactful that it cuts through all the noise. In today's world, it's easier than ever to fall into the trap of comparison. Social media shows us carefully curated snapshots of other people's lives. Moments of success, luxury, and joy. But rarely the struggles, failures, and sacrifices behind them. This constant exposure can make you feel like you're falling behind, like you're not doing enough, or like your life is somehow less valuable. But the truth is, comparison is a thief. It steals your focus, your confidence, and your sense of purpose. The only person you should be competing with is the version of yourself from yesterday. When you shift your mindset from, I need to be better than them, to I need to be better than I was, you take back control. You're no longer chasing someone else's timeline, someone else's dream, or someone else's definition of success. You start building a life that is meaningful to you, not one that looks impressive to others. That means tracking your own progress, setting your own goals, and measuring your growth in ways that matter for your journey. Focusing on yourself is not selfish. It's essential. Every moment you spend worrying about what others have is a moment you lose that could have been invested in your own growth. The energy you waste on comparison could be used to learn a new skill, start a new habit, or push yourself to the next level. When you stop comparing and start competing only with yourself, you free your mind from unnecessary pressure. You start appreciating your own wins, no matter how small. You realize that life is not a race against 7 billion people. It's a personal marathon where the finish line keeps moving forward as you grow. And the only opponent worth beating is the person you were yesterday. Growth happens in private because the deepest changes in your life are rarely visible while they're happening. When you are working on yourself, physically, mentally, financially, emotionally, it's not something that needs an audience. The world often celebrates the final product, but ignores the years of quiet work it takes to get there. That's why you must embrace the season of obscurity. This is the time when no one is clapping for you, when nobody even notices the progress you're making. And that's exactly how it should be. In private, you can experiment, fail, and adjust without the pressure of public opinion. You are free to make mistakes without every misstep being judged. Growth is a messy process. It's about trial and error, self-reflection, and honest assessment. When you're away from the noise, you can truly hear yourself think. You can be intentional about what you're building rather than distracted by trying to impress people who don't matter. It's also in private that you develop resilience. Without the constant need for validation, you start to find strength in your own approval. You're no longer chasing likes, applause, or recognition. You're chasing improvement. Every day, you add one small brick to the foundation you're building, and over time, that structure becomes unshakable. When you finally do step into the light, people will call you an overnight success, but you will know the truth. It was years of unseen effort. They didn't see the early mornings, the lonely nights, the sacrifices, or the discipline it took. And that's okay. You don't owe anyone the story of your struggle. Let them see the results, not the process. Growth happens in private because privacy is where greatness is built, one quiet step at a time. Not everyone will understand your goals, and that's okay. The truth is, your vision was given to you for a reason. It's yours, not theirs. When you start sharing every dream, every plan, and every move you're about to make, you open the door for opinions, doubts, and negativity to seep in. Some people will project their fears onto you, not because they want to hurt you, but because they can't see beyond their own limitations. Others may simply not want you to rise because your growth might remind them of where they've chosen to stay. This is why protecting your vision is essential. Your dreams are like seeds. In the early stages, they are fragile, vulnerable, and easily crushed by careless words or skeptical glances. You wouldn't plant a seed in the open for anyone to trample on. You would guard it, nurture it, and give it time to grow roots before showing the world the tree it's becoming. The same goes for your ambitions. The more you keep them safe from outside interference, the stronger they will grow. It's not about secrecy out of fear, it's about understanding that timing is everything. Share your vision prematurely, and you risk letting doubt take root before your dream even has a chance to breathe. Share it when it's ready, when you've built a foundation that no opinion can shake, and your results will speak for themselves. In 2025, distractions and noise are everywhere. People are quick to judge what they don't understand, and slower to support what they can't see working for themselves. That's why your focus should be on building in silence and protecting your vision like it's the most valuable thing you own. Because it is. When it's time, the world will see. Until then, keep building. Actions speak louder than words. In a world where everyone is talking, posting, and broadcasting their opinions, the ones who actually move forward are often the ones doing the work quietly. You don't need to announce your plans to the world for them to be real. You don't need to convince people that you're committed. Your consistency will do that for you. Every time you talk more than you act, you dilute the energy that should be going into execution. Energy spent proving yourself through words is energy stolen from building proof through results. When you focus on your craft, your health, your business, or your personal growth, you create momentum that no speech can replicate. Talking about it may give you a short burst of validation, but that's temporary and often traps people in a cycle of wanting praise without real progress. The truth is, success doesn't care about what you said you'd do. It only responds to what you've actually done. You can't talk your way into fitness, financial freedom, or mastery of a skill. You have to grind, day in and day out, even when nobody's clapping. Let your progress speak for itself. People notice change. They notice discipline. They notice results. And when your work starts producing outcomes, you won't have to tell anyone you've leveled up. They'll see it in your actions, your energy, and your life. Words fade, but results echo. The quiet worker who keeps showing up will always outlast the loud voice that disappears when things get hard. So in 2025, stop trying to win arguments about who will succeed. Stop posting every detail of your plan. Put your head down, work relentlessly. When you emerge, let your results be the loudest thing in the room. That's real power. When you constantly seek approval from others, you hand over control of your life to them. Every decision you make, every move you take, is filtered through the lens of what will they think. And that becomes a cage that traps your potential. The truth is, external validation is fleeting. People's opinions change as quickly as the weather, and basing your worth on their praise means your self-esteem will rise and fall in ways you can't control. Instead of chasing the applause, focus on chasing improvement. Improvement is internal. It's about becoming a better version of yourself each day, not for likes, comments, or recognition, but because you know you're capable of more. When you stop asking, do they think I'm doing well? And start asking, am I proud of my effort today? You shift the power back into your own hands. External validation often creates a dangerous addiction. The moment you stop getting it, you feel empty, and that emptiness pushes you to perform for others instead of living authentically. In silence and self-focus, you can break that pattern. You learn to be content with who you are, even when nobody is clapping for you. 2025 is a year where distractions are louder than ever. Social media, constant opinions, and the pressure to show progress can pull you away from actually making progress. By cutting the need for external approval, you remove the leash that others unknowingly have on you. You stop dancing for their applause and start building for your own fulfillment. When you no longer need validation to feel valuable, you become unstoppable. You no longer fear judgment, criticism, or silence. Your worth comes from within, and nothing, no opinion, no comment, no lack of recognition, can take that away. That's real freedom. Self-discipline is the foundation of any true transformation. In 2025, distractions are louder, faster, and more addictive than ever before. Every beep, every scroll, every pointless conversation pulls you a little further from the person you're trying to become. Mastering self-discipline means taking full responsibility for where your attention goes and cutting off anything that steals it without giving you value in return. It's about making decisions that serve your future self, even when your present self craves comfort. When you focus, you have to accept that some people, habits, and environments no longer fit the life you're building. You can't expect to grow while keeping the same circle that keeps you stagnant. You can't stay focused while consuming information that feeds fear, gossip, or insecurity. Self-discipline isn't punishment, it's protection. You're protecting your energy from being drained, your mind from being polluted, and your time from being wasted. Every moment you say no to distraction is a moment you say yes to your growth. It's not easy. Your brain will fight back. It will try to convince you to check your phone, to scroll for just a minute, to relax when you should be creating. But discipline means doing what's necessary even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up for your goals with the same consistency you show up for your basic needs, because your dreams are just as essential. Over time, this discipline compounds. You'll notice you get more done in fewer hours. You'll realize your confidence grows not from hype or motivation, but from the quiet proof that you can trust yourself to follow through. And when the world wonders how you got so far, they won't realize it was built in the moments you were invisible, focused, silent, and unshakably disciplined. Being underestimated is one of the most powerful advantages you can have, yet most people overlook it because their ego gets in the way. When people think less of you, they're not watching closely. They don't see your plans, your late nights, your early mornings, or the silent grind you're putting in when no one's paying attention. This gives you room to grow without interference, without criticism, without the weight of expectations. It allows you to experiment, make mistakes, and learn in peace, far from the pressure of an audience that's waiting to judge your every move. The truth is, when you talk too much about what you're going to do, you invite opinions, doubt, and sometimes even sabotage. But when you keep your head down and your mouth shut, you control the narrative. You dictate when and how people see the results. By the time they notice, it's already too late for them to stop you. You've built something solid. You've transformed quietly. You've leveled up without warning. The advantage of being underestimated is that no one expects you to win. And that means every step you take forward shocks the world. It's not about proving them wrong in words. It's about proving them wrong in action. Success hits harder when it's unexpected. When you finally reveal what you've been building, the same people who dismissed you will scramble to understand how you did it. So don't be in a rush to announce your every move. Let the silence work for you. Move in shadows, build in private, and let your results speak in a language far louder than your voice ever could. In 2025, make it your mission to stay underestimated until the day your success makes silence impossible. Most people today announce their goals before they've even taken the first step, hoping for applause and validation. But the truth is, when you speak too soon, you invite opinions, doubts, and even quiet sabotage from others. Every dream, no matter how big or small, is fragile in its early stages. It's like a seed. You don't dig it up every day to show it to people. You protect it, water it, and let it grow in silence. Building before you broadcast is about shifting your energy from talking to doing. The more you speak about what you will do, the less urgency you feel to actually make it happen. Talking can give you a false sense of accomplishment, as if speaking the goal is the same as achieving it. It's not. In 2025, The people who truly win will be the ones who grind in the dark, while everyone else is distracted by noise. When you work quietly, there's no pressure to perform for the crowd, no stage to maintain, and no fake image to protect. You're free to make mistakes, adjust your plan, and grow without judgment. Then, when you finally reveal your work, it's not just an idea. It's a finished result that speaks for itself. This is the difference between those who talk about changing their life and those who actually change it. There's a special kind of power in letting your results be the first thing people hear about you. No hype, no empty promises, just undeniable proof. The applause is louder, the respect is real, and the success is yours to own. So, build your life brick by brick, in silence, until the day comes when you no longer need to announce anything, because your results will already be shouting for you.